This episode of the Fight Within podcast is presented to you by Meguiar's. For over 115 years, Meguiar's has been carefully creating and producing advanced formulas with cutting-edge chemistry to deliver a show car perfect appearance. Whether you're showing on the fairway, finalizing your car for auction, or simply getting your beloved car ready for a weekend drive, Meguiar's is ready to help with their premium car care products to make every automotive surface look its absolute best. Meguiar's, reflect your passion. Make sure to visit them at meguiars.com.
What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Fight Within podcast. On today's episode, if you guys can tell, we just moved into our new makeshift studio. I'm not going to tell you where it's at because then we're going to have paparazzi and autographs. And,
too
we
many
don't have
followers,
time for that.
too much, too many.
So Ben, we're in a secret location. We're at
very secret
at your business hidden house. We're in the warehouse and we made one of the offices a little studio. And so on today's episode, we want to kind of go over that. Talk about some of our plans and some of the new products that we've just developed or made. Or I don't know
had
the
made,
right
designed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think products that we have that you guys can buy if you want to support us. And so, as you guys can tell, we're not in a loony bin. We are in an office space with white walls.
Yeah, it's going to be dope, though, because it's our own space.
Yeah.
And then we wanted to do kind of like a raw and real episode. That way people can kind of see like the whole theme we've been talking about like grinding and hustling, and it's not always the best scenario, but you still got to work through it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be cool because you guys will be able to see the space like transformed with us. It's kind of fun, something different.
Yeah.
But this kind of just goes to show people out there that it doesn't have to be a podcast, but whatever it is that you're doing, it doesn't have to be glamorous. It doesn't have to be 100%. It doesn't have to be, we have to do X, Y, and Z before we can do this. Like sometimes you just go with it. My wife and I just had our baby last week. So, I mean, I'm right. I'm tired. My wife is way more tired, but we're here, we're doing it. And that's what really matters. I think that's what people forget. Like, dude, I did not want to do this today. I'm it's our weekend. It's our time off. It's, like I said, I got a newborn at home with a 2-year-old toddler. You have a family, but we're doing it because that's what you do. You don't always have the perfect schedule and all that other fun stuff.
Well, and I think it's something, we've been really good since we started working together, hosting the show together. We've been really good about consistency and making sure that we have an episode for our 3 listeners, every week.
Yeah.
And just because I really remember, I hit up Shab. I had texted him before. I was just thinking about it, a couple of years ago, and he it was short and sweet, but he gave me the best advice. He goes, just be consistent. Yeah. Just make sure that you do it all the time. And I think it's a testament to how serious we take this and how hard we want it to succeed, because they, if it's not for us, like they deserve it. Yeah. We say on a lot of our social media posts, like, hey, new episode every Wednesday. And, when they don't get it, I feel like we're not being fair, or like we're not treating them fair. And, there's times where there's technical difficulties because of technology, but, I feel like for the most part, we've done a really good job of doing what we said we were going to do. Yeah. And my whole point to that is in business or in life, if you say you're going to do something,
you just do it. Yeah. No, I agree.
And it helps build your character.
100%. Well, I mean, everything is, if you don't do what you say you're going to do, what else do you have, right? Like your word is your word. And I think for us, it's like, I mean, we're clearly growing, which is really cool to see. Yeah. Like we're getting more listeners, we're getting more watches, and that's what's rad is, we've talked about it too, is we want to continue to be able to, obviously the objective is to have guests share their stories and for people to be able to get something from that, but at the same time, Like we want people to be able to grow with us as individuals and as a team versus having someone cool here or not cool here or whatever, you know? But yeah, I'm super excited. I think this space will be really cool for us. We're going to get it dialed in so we have fun stuff. So if you do want to come on the show, we'll have some cool things.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe some beer on tap. Maybe some cold brew on tap. Who knows? We'll have some cool stuff.
Some fight within whisk. No.
Yeah, right?
Their own brand.
But yeah, so, I mean, we're here. I feel like we're almost like starting over in a good way.
I would say so, a little bit with more experience.
Yeah.
Be like a fighter kind of when he's in his, towards the latter part of his career.
Yeah.
Like imagine if he had that knowledge
Yeah.
when he first got started.
Exactly.
That comfort.
When right now we have like literal blank canvas, which is fun because we'll be able to get to do what we want to do. I mean, you guys obviously didn't see it, but we just spent the last 45 minutes. Do we put the camera here? Do we not put the camera here? Do we put the mic arm here or do we move it over here? And those are the things like it's not going to be perfect. We're not, we're figuring it out. We're doing it, and I think that's what is kind of cool. It's doing it, showing up, and doing it.
I think that's the hardest part a lot of times, people don't, it's almost like if you have to show up, so now I got to do something.
Yeah.
Because I could have very easily called you and be like, hey bro, can't make it today.
Yeah. No, for real.
Then we can't.
I know. I was like sitting in my kitchen before you got there and I was like, I'm tired. I know my wife is amazing, but I know she needs help. She'll never say she needs help, 'cause especially when we have stuff to do. But I was like, dude, I'm tired. I know she needs help. She needs to rest a little bit. I was like, should we just blow it off, not do it, and then just post on the backhand of it and say, oh, sorry, guys, we had issues. Versus like taking the time to show up, kind of slowly figure out our space, dial it in, and then to be able to let people know, like, next week we won't probably have an episode because we really want to take the time to dial the space in, but we're here to tell you that there won't be one, versus just saying, forget it, I'll just post on our story.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a good thing. So working full time, having a 2-year-old and now a newborn, and our podcast on top of life and everything else, I think it's important to show, like, dude, if you were in front of me right now, I made Manny and I stop to get coffee because I was like dying on the way here. Like my eyes are all like poofy. Our makeup team did a really good job at touching me up before the start of this, so you can't see how tired I am. But these are those moments where it's like, we don't have to do it. Like, this is something that we want to do.
Oh yeah.
But it's showing up when you're tired. Like I always butcher the saying, but it's not how you start, it's always how you finish, right? Yeah. Like, of course you could start off sprinting, but are you going to be able to sprint in the fourth quarter unless you're putting in the work and the time to get there?
Yeah, if you're ready.
Yeah, so and that's kind of how I view this, and it's like my own fight within right now of like literal, like, dude, I'm wiped, mentally tired, physically tired.
But I think it's also therapeutic. For me at least, when we get on here and we hear people's stories, or we talk amongst ourselves, it's almost, for me, it's therapeutic because I get to do something. Now I feel super bad because we're in California for people that don't know, and I'm a high school coach, and so I've been getting off early and been able to come home, and everything's been awesome. And then last week they say, hey, you're having a full-on season.
Yeah. And
now I'm having to coach, and my wife's like, well, you're never home. We don't see you. And I have 3 kids at home.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh man, there is a balance, but there's also, like I was always taught, there's a time and a place for everything. And in this season, or in this moment of time, it's like I'm really coaching because I get to spend the next 4 years with my freshman son. I get to spend more time with him. I get to be around him. I get to see him develop.
Which is rad.
And so that's why I'm coaching. And it's a Saturday, and my wife's like, I don't want you to go. And she totally understood, though. I said, hey, look, it's our only time. We need another episode for next week. and we're here now.
Yeah.
And I think it's a testament to, again, how much we want this to succeed, but also the type of discipline you need to have, and how much easier it is when you have a partner. Because what got me to do it, I was like, no, man, Ben's gonna be,
I'm gonna call you out,
pissed off, or he's gonna be bummed out that we can't do it when we made plans, and we had already changed it from Thursday to Saturday.
It would have been easy to be like, oh no, let's do it on Monday.
Yeah. And so I think you, without you knowing, you held me accountable, because I was like, oh man, like, no, I have to go. Yeah. Like, I don't want to go. I got home and no one was home because my wife got the carpets cleaned, and she's like, we can't be home, so like, you can't leave our son there. And I'm like I have something to do.
So funny.
And so that's why I text you. I'm like, I'm hurrying. And guys, he texts me back with the dumb emoji with like the rolling eyes. I was like, oh man, I gotta hurry up now.
That's my favorite emoji to use, dude. Like when someone says something, I'm just like,
whatever.
Oh man, but seriously, if you're like listening and you're in a spot, whether it's in business or your career or you're an athlete or just life, like it doesn't have to be perfect. You're gonna be tired. But it's all about just being gritty. We've used that term. Like, I'm really trying to take the word grit and owning it for this year for myself 100%. In all aspects of my life, like in business, in being a husband, a father, in life, being a business partner, being really trying to take hold of my health and me as like a person, like trying to pour into getting my body back to where it should be, or where I know it could be, to getting it. We've talked about me possibly toying around the idea of like starting to compete in different things. And the only reason why I want to do that stuff is, one, to be able to show my kids someday, like, hey man, I was 33 years old but still rolled my sleeves up, grew a pair, and got it done. I might not have been the best at it, but it's never too late to count yourself out for something. And I think that's, again, it's like becoming the anthem to my lifestyle of just being gritty. And I know like that's such a cliche thing to do, but like, dude, being a father takes grit, right? To be a present father, it takes grittiness. Like right before you got to my house, my daughter was having an episode. She's been super sweet this whole time. But there's been those brief moments where if like she doesn't feel like she's getting that attention, she just, she's 2. She needs that attention. And I'm already so tired and just irritable at moments where I'm just like, it would have been so quick for me just to lash out. And I was like, you know what? I get it. Like, I feel you, like you have a heart, you still don't fully know how to communicate yet. And you just had a crazy culture shock of having another baby here. And it takes grittiness to be able to just get in those moments, own it, and be the best possible present father that I can be. It takes grittiness to show up when we both didn't want to. It takes grittiness to be able to deal with every other component that we have going on in our lives, but still taking the time to do something that we want to do because we know this can be something special and we want it to be something special. So just having grit, man, like literal grit.
That's a good word. There's a company that won I think the company was called Cage Fighter. I remember, back in probably 5+ years ago, and one of their shirts that they made was "Embrace the Grind."
Oh yeah.
And I think that's key is you have to embrace those moments where it's like, and not that it's easy to be a dad, but it's definitely easy to just be there.
Yeah, to be one of those guys that's just shows up, says hi, and then go plops himself down on the couch. Like,
so I do that sometimes.
And I've told myself that no matter what, I mean, you're gonna have your moments. Don't get me wrong, and I've had my moments too. But I've told myself and made a commitment to myself that no matter what I have going on in life, I will be present for my family. And that means not just being present and being there. That means showing up and being the best possible father that I can be. Because I want my kids growing up in a household where they saw their dad and their mom work their butts off to be able to provide a life for them. But I want them to always remember how present we both were, even with working our butts off. And I think that's something that's super important to me. And that's, that's one of my whys of knowing, when I get home from having either like a rough day or just a hectic day or a crazy day and I'm tired, knowing my why of why I wanted to be a parent and a father is what, helps me to get out of my car, get inside and put on the best like possible version of myself for them. And then when they go to bed, I can just freaking be a couch bum and just sit there for a second.
Do you have direction? If you don't have any direction, you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't say, take me here. You got to have some direction. And not an end goal, but I think just having, your purpose, your why, but you still need a plan to get there.
Yeah.
And talking about plans and some of the things we want to do, one of the things we've talked about is coming out with different products and branding ourselves. And, we've changed, just me alone, I've changed the logo 3 times now. and I'm really happy with what you were able to develop in this new logo.
That was our friend Dan Hagman. He does all of our Hidden House stuff. Been one of my best friends for the last, I don't know, like 8 or 9 years now.
Nice.
Just such a rad dude. If you ever need any other graphic design stuff, plugging him right now just because he does a lot of stuff for us. But yeah, he did, we have, I'll just show you right now.
Check it out.
So, we showed you before, but we got this. So it has our TFW on the front, and then on the back, it's got one of our other logos, which is really rad. I know it's hard to see, but it has the fight within, and it says doubts, obstacles, and victory. Because as you can kind of tell, like some of our theme is what we were talking about. Like there's always going to be doubts with doing stuff. Doubts, obviously create obstacles for you, and without conquering those obstacles, you have no victory. This little cool white box, it kind of goes with the rest of the wall.
It's a theme.
But this is one of the other things. So we now have shirts, which is really rad, and we're pumped on. And then we have these fun reusable cups. Again, with the TFW on one side. Bam. Turn it around, and you got our other logo on here. And they're really rad. They're reusable. And yeah, I like them. You could put hot or cold. They're pretty sweet.
Yeah, those look nice.
I like them.
Check it out. And this is the first time I've seen this in person.
Oh yeah, he hasn't even seen them yet. We got these. Actually, we got them like a week and a half ago, but we had, like our son was being born, so I didn't get to drop any by for Manny yet. But those are them. So we have those, and then we have like just stickers and stuff that we would love to be able to get to people. And again, it was out of a relationship that a lot of this stuff was done, and yeah. So those are products that we have. We'll be coming out with other stuff in the future, just thinking through stuff.
Well, this is right. If you guys want to get these now, just DM us on our social media platforms, or send us an email. Should be up on social media. I am myself working on developing the website. I still need to pick Ben's brain on some things, but you pretty soon here you'll be able to make purchases through the website, and we'll ship them out to you and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm glad we did this when we didn't want to.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, is any closing thoughts or?
I was just gonna say, hopefully in a couple weeks when we do our next episode, we'll have our room done.
Yeah.
So you guys can see it next time, and then we'll be able to just start really kind of diving in, and we have some really cool guests lined up that we're excited about. And honestly, it's just been really cool, through the relationships that we've had from the podcast already, and to kind of see where those are at. That's awesome on a personal level for us. And, it's really cool just kind of like sometimes going about my day and getting a random text from someone that I didn't even know listens to our podcast, and them saying, dude, I really liked listening to that. That was really cool. Just stuff like that,
That's nice.
Like for Alberto's episode, because anyone around here that is into food, knows about Alberto. And so I got a message, and the guy was like, dude, I was literally just going to go to Burritos La Palma today, and he didn't know Alberto was the founder. So that was like just like a really cool coincidence that I had shared it on my Instagram. He saw it and was like, I was literally going to go there today. Didn't know, like, is he the founder?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's neat.
So just like those cool little things, and, you know, I don't know. I'm just excited to continue to see what this brings through. And, you know, hopefully from some of the episodes we've done, hopefully people, at least one person has found some type of value or has gotten something from it. Like if someone were to come to me and be like, hey, I listened to, I don't know, Joe Schmo's interview, and something they said really just pushed me to get to where I'm at. Like that would be such a huge win and make all of the grinding, hustling, and the tiredness worth it, you know? I think that just would be really rad. So
nice.
I don't know if those were really final thoughts, but those are just me rambling. Those are tired thoughts.
And that might be a whole new podcast.
Right.
Ben's tired thoughts.
But no, I'm stoked. I think we're going to have some really cool stuff coming out in the next few months and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just excited to continue to bring guests to share their stories. I feel like I learn something every single time, even if I know the person.
Me too.
I'm like, oh wait, I didn't know you did that. You know,
remember Steve's? I was like, I didn't even know that. Or Mark Munoz, we had, and he used to be some sort of dance instructor. I'm like, I would have never guessed that.
And that's the cool things about this is genuinely pouring into people and letting them organically have relationship with us and with our podcast and with hopefully some of the listeners too is what it's all about. But do you have any final thoughts?
No. Just excited to see what's next, and say the same thing. Hopefully, people that listen to this are getting something from it, and we're bringing value to our audience. And it's the same thing we've talked about before. Is, you know, we want to be a platform for our guests and a resource to our listeners. And so, just with that, thank you guys for the support. Thank you for, you know, sharing, and thank you for reposting and tuning in every week and leaving nice comments. And so with that, Ben, it's been awesome.
Yes, sir.
See you guys in a couple weeks, and remember that everything was impossible until someone did it. So guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/The Fight Within Podcast. Find us on all audio platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, anywhere you guys like to listen to it. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for continuing to listen to it and watch it. We can see the growth on our analytics, and just want to thank you guys for supporting us. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Kingdom Nutrition. Make sure you guys go and visit their site over at kingdomnutrition.com and enter promo code MFW10 to get 10% off your next purchase. Kingdom Nutrition carries the best sports supplements on the market. They manufacture and curate their own line of supplements with the highest quality ingredients, including a lean protein, weight gainer protein, pre-workout, BCAAs, and an array of other products. They've recently created the world's first vegan chickpea protein, and it tastes amazing. I'm a big dude. I like food, and I like chocolate. So when they told me it comes in chocolate and vanilla, I got really happy. But if you're a workout enthusiast and you want to change up your diet, change up your protein, go check out their vanilla chickpea protein. It mixes well with anything. It'll blend great with a smoothie. So to get your hands on any of these products, just make sure and go visit kingdomnutrition.com. Remember to enter promo code MFW10 and get 10% off your next purchase. Let's go.